Let's go to Chris. Chris, you're on the air in Fairfax, Virginia.
Yeah, you got to keep his show on at least once a week because it was just a riot.
I'll play you some clips
the whole time.
All right, we're talking about John the Stutterer. We gave him a show.
He was into it when we were leaving Vegas because I even said to him I had to go to the plane in like a couple hours. I said, John, why don't you stay in Vegas? I'll get the guy to, comp the room, and he goes real confidently and happy, I got to get back to my show. He didn't even stutter.
It's funny, the part I heard with the pace I didn't think was good, and I turned it off. But
a lot of people seem to find, I mean, I didn't want to tell Scott in front of him, but that seemed to be the one part of the show that they did not like.
Because a lot of listeners really liked it. In fact, I printed out. I hope I printed out.
And I'm not exactly sure yet why they like the John show, if it's because of his commentary or because of the stutter, but for whatever reason, it appears to be a hit.
Jason, print out all the comments about John the Stutterer show, if you would. Yes, Scott.
That's, whatever. I was doing my own thing. They called me to call in.
Right.
I was
it just didn't work.
No,
I'm not saying that you were bad. I mean, it's like that was just the report. So
the part that I heard was unlistenable until I got on and actually caused some controversy. It was boring.
All right.
Let's listen to a stutter.
Let's listen to this. John the Stutterer, this is just him talking about some of his beliefs. This is his show.
I believe that that corporations have been they regulated too much. While I obviously do believe in a strong military, there's far too much waste, and I believe that this and I believe that this war in Iraq is the wrong war, obviously.
All right, so then let's see.
I'm glad to know his beliefs.
Some excellent points.
I forget this one. This is, who gave me these clips? The one with the university in it. I want to set it up. Oh, here he is talking about Sean Hannity.
Doesn't like Sean Hannity.
What was the university one, JD?
He's just talking about Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, yeah, right. And what was, that he went to, and he fucks up the word university, right?
Yeah, just a long stutter.
He is now veering towards the right in a sense because he's now against gay marriage. He says he's just for civil unions. He's spoken to Pat Robertson's regent. The university.
God, wow.
That's to tuning in. Here he's talking about Sean Hannity, and he was doing all this stuff. Sounds kind of interesting to me.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, listen to this.
Let's take some calls. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's go to Glenn in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Hey, Glenn.
Hey, John, big fan of yours.
Sure, Glenn. Thank you, Glenn.
I love listening to you on Howard Stern and everything, and I think you're a great American.
Well, thank you, Glenn.
Sean Hannity loves to say that, And I'm a big Sean Hannity fan.
Oh, really?
I want to know what you actually think of Sean Hannity.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you called, sir. However, I have to say, I think that Sean Hannity is a creepy lying coward, and my reason for this is in his early 20s, he went to seminary school. What normal guy goes to seminary school? He calls himself a devout Catholic. He was a close friend of Jerry Falwell's. He was the commencement speaker at Jerry Falwell's Liberty University in 2005. He loves Pat Robertson and James Dobson, too. He hates Playboy. He told Howard.
See, it sounds like he's reading now, and he's good when he's reading.
Is he reading?
I don't know. He had notes or something on Sean Hannity. Doesn't it sound that way? Like he's not stuttering.
When he doesn't stutter, he sounds like every other
he sounds
political
like a
talk,
liberal
like a guy who would know his shit and is making points.
Or that he said he doesn't look at Playboy. He doesn't find those girls attractive. He loves country music. He thinks pornography is immoral. Now, how many Howard Stern fans think that pornography or prostitution are immoral? Not many. He called war hero John Kerry a coward. Well, John Kerry volunteered for Vietnam. George Bush, guys like George Bush and Dick Cheney dodged the draft. John Kerry is a hero.
He's good.
His so-called family, Sean Hannity's Republican so-called family values party is full of draft dodgers, perverts, adulterers, divorcees, druggies, and fornicators. Sean Hannity even had a segment on his Hannity's America where he thinks Vince Foster was murdered. He had a segment on recently where he wants to Hannitize. Oh, I'm gonna Hannitize. He wants to Hannitize the girls of the Moonlight Bunny Ranch. Sean Hannity calls himself a normal red-blooded American male. No, he's not a normal red-blooded American male. The guys like me who listen to Howard Stern are normal red-blooded American males.
Well, that's not that crazy.
Fuck Sean Hannity. So does that answer your question, Glenn? Thank you.
What?
Now let's go to let me see. Mark in Michigan, if you had to choose a Republican. Okay. Mark?
Yes. Hey, John. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for calling, Mark.
See, it went along.
Oh, man.
And even it's true, G. Gordon Liddy was a guest.
If you just took that little chunk we just played, I bet he'd get a job somewhere.
Absolutely.
Without the stutter.
Howard TV will air John the Stutterer show tomorrow night. You'll be able to see the whole thing.
See
I might watch that.
That clip we just played makes me think, God, he's got to be capable of curing what he has in some way. I mean,
he's very well thought out.
Yeah.
Here he is with G. Gordon Liddy. And G. Gordon Liddy, I don't think knew what hit him.
Let's talk now to G. Gordon Liddy. You can hear G-Man on Sirius Patriot 144 and at www.liddyshow.com. Mr. Liddy, hello.
How are you, sir? Thank you for having me on.
Hi, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for the coming on my show. I first have to say that, quite frankly, I don't like you. However, I will be respectful and I will not call you names.
Well, there's no federal statute yet that says that you have to like me. Not yet.
Right. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
How can I help you?
What would you like to discuss?
Well, you just gave your analysis of the Republican race. I would say it is still wide open.
See, and then they went into it.
Yeah,
that's
funny.
Oh,
What would you like to discuss?
that's so good.
G. Gordon Liddy has always proven to have a great sense of humor about himself, which is I always loved him when you talk to him.
Yes.
I like him as a guest. He's cool.
Yes, Ralph, I shouldn't take your call anymore. Did you hear the scathing email? Not one positive about you.
I don't know. I love the Ralph calls.
You really like the Ralph calls, right, Ralph?
I love them. They're fun.
Tim, what do you think as a programmer? I respect you more than anyone. Do you think Ralph is really bad for the show?
Ralph throws things off from time to time, but you always come at it. If somebody says white, you say black, and it pisses everybody off, throws everybody off. And sometimes that's good, and it works, but others, it becomes like an annoyance.
So who do you agree with, the audience, where we should ban Ralph? I mean, if Ralph has some good, you got to then take the bad with the good.
Exactly. I think Ralph adds a different perspective to things. He's like our Newman.
Okay.
If people hate me that much, if they'd like to donate some money, I'll never call in again.
You're saying if you get enough money,
you can start a telethon. Yeah,
we can pay you to stay off of it.
Well, there's a movement that might get started. Yes, Tim.
Last night when John the Stutterer came in, we were waiting for him to come in. His show's at 7:00 Eastern, and he shows up late. I mean, I'm standing outside the building, so I'm worried to death about him. His bus was late. He was coming up from Philadelphia, so he comes up with these, a bag of notes that he had written out. But he gets in here into the studio and amazingly was very well prepared, very well thought out, and I was very impressed for his first time on the air that he was able to pull this off the way he did.
Sounds very professional.
Would you give him another show?
Absolutely.
What is it, Ralph, that you wanted to say?
There's at one point you got to pull the clip. I think it was towards the end of the show where John tries to say omnipotent.
JD, pull the clip where he tries to say omnipotent.
That just should not be in his vocabulary.
All right, thank you, Ralph.
Okay, bye.
Let's go to Russell. Russell, you're on the air in Los Angeles.
How you doing, Howard?
Hey.
Hey, I want to get it over and under from you guys. I counted the I's from John last night.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
The over under on the I's.
For the whole hour, huh?
Yeah, 72 is the over under.
That's the over under.
Yeah.
I gotta say over.
You're gonna say over,
what's the over under?
72.
Oh.
I'll say over.
It's under. You got 65 I's out.
Really?
So wait, one three I's makes one.
No.
Like I is one or I is one?
When I counted I counted that as 3.
Oh, all right. Oh. Wow.
And what about his uhs? Are those different from his ums?
Yeah, the over under on that is 70.
What about the ooh and the da?
All I ever hear from him.
I.
Oh.
I didn't get to those. I would have had about 10 papers writing down a bunch of words and stuff, but the the over under is 70.
Yes, Wheels.
Ralph, sorry. We had a thing before against Ralph against Eric the Midget, and Ralph was most hated, correct?
Right.
Can't we just put up another 3-day poll? I'll pay $2 a month not to put him on.
You actually pay a fee.
I would, seriously. It's 5 times last Tuesday, 6 times on Thursday, then the wrap-up show puts him on. Give him his own goddamn show. Nobody will listen to that unless they want to call in and yell at him.
Well, maybe if they isolated him to his own show, you're saying it would be different. Yes, Ralph, go ahead and speak to Wheels.
I'm on the Stern Fan Network.
Right.
Which is Stern Fans.
Right.
I'm reading a thread that says, Ralph's not that bad, people. I'll take that as a compliment. And here's some posts. I take a call from Ralph any day over some of the regular callers. I like him more all the time. He's one of the last honest opinions on the show. He is lame, and his opinions are boring. Okay, I guess that would be a negative. Ralph rocks. Thank you.
No, at
Ralph's
all.
the only caller that's worth listening to nowadays. Everyone else just sits to suck Howard's ass. It's pathetic. Ralph is good for nothing piece of shit. Okay, I guess that's not a good one. I love Ralph. Hate days when he doesn't call in. Ralph is a great caller because he's honest. Ralph is good for the show. Once on the regular show and once for a longer segment on the wrap-up show.
All right. Well, there it is.
I think Fred's skewing the email.
Exactly.
Once again.
And going through my emails right now, I'm... Dude, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Put the poll
You know what you should do is get John Hunterlock in here one day. He saw me go through the email, and I had him as a witness. I go, John, I want you to witness some of the emails that I go through with Ralph, because Ralph thinks I'm skewing,
Well, the controversy
and he will
continues.
skew it at least 95% negative, 5% positive.
Fred, really? I'm just kidding. I don't think.
No, I know, but I know some people. I've been accused of this before. Gary thought I was putting through all the fat emails, and then he went through the emails and he found out people really said, you know something, you really are fat.
Yeah.
And if they looked at Gary, I don't know why he's surprised that they thought he was fat.
Yeah, Gary really is fat. I'm not annoying.
Right.
All right, thank you. Yeah. By the way, here, Ralph.
You're not fat, Ralph.
Ralph, you still there?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let me see. There was somebody who wanted to.
How's the Taliban coming along?
Let's see. Here's a guy who wants to get rid of you. Yes, Alan.
Hello.
Yeah, you want to get rid of Ralph, right?
Oh God, he sucks so bad.
Yeah. See, that's most of my
Brings
mail.
the show down every time he's on.
Right.
So there you go, Ralph.
Well,
Apparently that guy's on a different thread.
Yeah, this is another thread somewhere. John Boy, go ahead.
I was on the wrong thread.
I was kind of wondering when Bubba was threatening Ralph if, you were present when he went to beat Ralph's ass. Would you protect him since you're the strongest one with those 16 pull-ups you pulled off?
I wouldn't. Thank you for that, by the way.
Oh, well, I saw you take down Gary Busey that time with that rear naked choke. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. Once in a while, I get some retard strength in me, but yeah, I mean, it would depend what they were fighting. I mean, I wouldn't want my friends fighting about anything, like physically. I suppose I'm a big coward, though. I probably wouldn't get too involved. I would say, "Hey, guys, stop!" Something like that.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead. You're on the air.
I think that, Ralph can be a dick sometimes. A lot of times I don't agree with his opinion, but he is an honest caller, and I think he's good for the show. He provides an alternate opinion as opposed to everybody else, and definitely keep him on the show.
All right, Jeff, go ahead, weigh in with your thoughts. Jeff, you there?
I love him. Hey, now. Hey, I was wondering if there's any way we can get, serious and we can just do, the monthly, can add it to our monthly subscription, $2 a month.
So
we can keep Ralph off the air. I'll just pay. Just take it right out of my
So
credit
if Sirius billed you another $2 on your credit card to keep Ralph off the air, you would pay it?
card. That would be great.
All right.
So in other words, the channel without Ralph is a premium channel.
Right, that's right. Yeah, it's called the Without Ralph channel.
It's nice to know that it's there.
It's got a logo and everything.
You're guaranteed not to hear Ralph Sorella at any time.
That's very good. All right, thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Jeff. And hey now, or bye now, or whatever it is. Let's say hello to Mark. Mark, go ahead.
Howard.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you picked up. I got 4 bullet points for you on the Ralph thing.
Okay.
This is going to convince you.
Jesus.
Number 1, okay, he's at least 90% hated.
Right.
Would you have a guest on every day,
No.
sometimes multiple times a day, that 90% of the people hated?
No.
Okay, number 2, he brings absolutely nothing positive to the show. He's complaining, criticizing every single call. It's never upbeat. Okay, number 3, there's absolutely nothing special or different about him that makes him any more qualified to call in and comment on things than any other listener.
I don't know. I just think his comments are worthwhile. I do disagree about this. I do, Robin.
I didn't say they weren't worthwhile necessarily,
All right.
but what makes him so special that he can get in?
Well, I have a relationship with him. I know him, and, he does have some interesting things to say, so I go to him.
Well, that means your own personal feelings are outweighing
Yes.
your customers, right?
Perhaps. Listen, I go by my gut and what I think is interesting. I think the guy is interesting.
I have one last bullet point.
Can we run a channel with all the Ralph calls edited out,
Yeah,
Robin?
there'll just be dead silence when
Yeah.
Ralph is speaking.
And see what does better? Maybe we could check. Oh, here's John the Stutterer saying omnipotence.
Ooh.
And when people selectively pick and choose which sins are good and which sins are bad, such as yourself, you are negating the omnipotence of your so-called man in the sky.
Well, there you go. Finally, he did get into it with Scott DePace, and I didn't think it was very good, the Scott DePace stuff. I felt Scott and him were just going at it too much.
I'm a conservative, not a religious right guy. You
well, why don't you listen, Scott?
Why don't you go get a job? You're making our unemployment rate go up.
You should go to church and pray to your imaginary man in the sky. Okay.
So you're a little bit bitter because you got this stutter problem. Why don't you get off your ass, get a job, and stop blaming
Scott,
God?
listen, Well, Scott, well, if you believe in God so much, you should adhere to all of his teachings and all the teachings, and all to the teachings of the Bible and all conservative religions.
Who's to say, dude? Who's to say whose teachings are you? I mean,
such as the Catholic Church, which says that not only is abortion wrong, and not only is homosexuality wrong, but so is contraception, so is premarital sex, so is pornography, so is prostitution, and when people...
Wow. He ate you up, man, for lunch.
Oh, yeah, he got
tore
me.
you up.
I would just like to point out the first thing you said to me this morning was, I did good on the air.
No, what I pointed out was you were the chemistry between the two of you was horrible. He was talking all over you, and you were talking all over him.
He'll make anyone a bet.
Howard took the liberty of bullshitting you.
Howard's got two personalities.
I have an on-air and off. The one on the air is the real personality. Trust me.
So were you lying to him?
No, I was trying to make the point that it didn't work together, but he was good to call in, and he said he tried. He couldn't get a word in. John the Stutterer wouldn't allow him to say anything.
Right.
Oh.
That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott. You said I was the best part of that show. Jim McClure, producer of the show, said I was the best part of the John the Stutterer show. So screw everybody.
Scott, is it more John's content or is it just his delivery and stuttering problem?
Everything. He's annoying. He's one of these liberals who, he's not willing to work. He just wants to collect a check, and that's the kind that I really hate. He could fix his stutter, which then he could go get a job, but no, he won't do it. He'd rather just collect the check and sit on his ass.
And blame the man in the sky, as he refers to him.
Exactly, and God's the one that he's real angry at, and screw him.
Why is he constantly trying to paint you as a religious nut or a religious freak?
Because apparently if you're conservative with him, if you're conservative, you must be tied to the religious right, which I'm not. I'm a conservative with fiscal policy, and I want a strong military, and that's my sort of government. His is, he thinks that, Jerry Falwell runs the Republican Party, and he doesn't, especially now since he's dead.